Hello, everyone. I will be talking about our new feature called RoMON, Router Management Overlay Network. I don't know if anyone have seen that, but we have added that in the latest RouterOS version. So I will briefly talk about what it is, what does it do, and where to use it, and how to use it. So what features we can get from this RoMON? So it will give you a secure layer 2 access to any of your MikroTik enabled RouterOS devices, and you can make this connection using a physical connection to your layer 2 network, or using a layer 2 tunnel through multiple hops, through multiple MikroTik routers. And currently we have made 3 management tools which you can use for RoMON. You can use ping, SSH, and Winbox. And of course we have like a good graphical discovery of our RoMON enabled devices over multiple hops. So if you enable RoMON on all your network, you will have a nice view of all your networks. And we have also made a very special feature for Winbox. So you can now tunnel your Winbox connection into your remote network to access your MikroTik devices that doesn't have like IP address, or it's not allowed to access any public network. So how the connection is made? So RoMON connection is established in an independent MAC layer, peer discovery, and data forwarding protocol, which means it operates independently from layer 2 and layer 3 forwarding configuration. It means it will go through any firewall, any NAT. It will bypass all that. You just need to enable on both ends, on the internet side or in the local side, the RoMON port. It means it will go through all of that. You don't need to worry about that. Communication is based, similar like for MAC address, it's based on RoMON ID, which usually is taken from one of the board's ports. Usually it's a port's first MAC address. But currently there's a limitation. It only works for the wireless and the Ethernet-like interfaces, so it will not work on the tunnels. And of course, it is a MikroTik proprietary protocol, so if you want to do that on the Linux, it's not possible. Sorry, guys. So how the configuration looks like? So if you're looking at the Winbox, if you go to the tool RoMON, and you have a general settings, you can check enable. Here, it means router is now in part of enable RoMON network. You have an ID, which is automatically generated here, as you can see below, or you can override this value like a different value if you want. Of course, where you have all kind of such a tool, you want to also have some security, or maybe a secret. Here you can see like a secret. It's a global passphrase for communication between RoMON devices. Here it's like visible, but here there's a checkbox in Winbox to hide the password, so it shows that it's not like plain text. After we have enabled RoMON on the router, we need to add the port to the. It is done in the RoMON ports menu, and there we can add a new entry for each interface, or add an entry for all the interfaces to add all the interfaces to the RoMON ports. So we can specify different costs for each interface, like similar to OSPF, like we have. Please note that cost value is also for incoming and receiving, so keep in mind. And we can also override the secrets that we have made in the global settings. So we can override the secret for a different port with a new one. Also, there is a hierarchy there. Ports are also ordered and processed like in firewall from top to bottom. Like we can have here like Ethernet 1, it's allowed, the secret one. Ethernet 2 is like forbidden. We don't want to make any connection to that network. Maybe it's our private network, or maybe it's secure servers there. We don't want to route anything there. And then for Ethernet 3, we have the bigger cost for that. If you have multiple hops or multiple paths to some specific location, we do not want to use that. And we could have like all the rest ports has different secrets, so it is like a public network or a client traffic, so we do not go in the same like RoMON networks as first ports. How the RoMON discovery looks like? If you do the RoMON discovery from the Winbox, currently it looks like this. It is continuous, so it automatically continues the RoMON scanning. So if you add a new device into the RoMON network, you will see it here. As you can see, we have IDs. Here's all the IDs, RoMON IDs. Those all are the routers. You can see how hops far they are. One hop, it means like it's directly connected, and there is a few hops between. Of course, you can see the cost, how to get that to that device, and you can see the path through which RoMON IDs it will go to access that ID. After we have done that, we can also check the communication through all the RoMON network. You can use a ping, for example, like simple tool to check the layer 2 connection using RoMON protocol. You can check the first hop or the last hop and check the communication if the tunnel is working very fine. And after that, we can also do configuring using SSH, just like regular SSH. But here it is done in the RoMON section. You just do RoMON SSH and then specify the ID of the RoMON router, like for example here. But the best part is Winbox for RoMON, as not all of you are like console gurus, so you would like also use Winbox. So it's possible to connect a remote location using Winbox. If you open a new Winbox loader, version 3.0 RC9 or newer, you will see you have a new button called Connect to RoMON. So what does it do? You specify the IP address or MAC address if you are connecting in the same network. But usually you would like to connect to some remote location using IP level. You connect some remote location IP address and click not connect regular button, but click connect to RoMON network. What it does, it creates a secure tunnel using Winbox. And then we have a new tab. It's called RoMON neighbors. It means it will show all the neighbors which are accessible through that router agent that you just connected to. So, and you can select any of those routers and click connect, and what it will do, it will connect using that tunnel that it made to the RoMON agent and connect directly to that RoMON ID. So you will have like a very secured and easy way to manage your routers very far away, even if they do not have an IP address. They just need to have a RoMON ID enabled and access to your RoMON agent. So what does it give you? So you have like an easy management for your RoMON networks, remote locations. You'll also have a drag and drop support, so you can like upload your files, configuration files, or even router's version to like locations that you previously were not able to get easily. Okay, now I will show you how it is working in real, like a simulated example. Here is like a simple setup. This is my laptop. I have like ISP router, client router, and for example, client's router inside that doesn't have maybe IP address, or it's maybe bridged. So, I will be using hub lights. We have spare lights, so that's why I will have the first one like ISP at the bottom. In middle, I will have client, and then the CPE. And you can connect even more than CPX, for example. So we have, you can see all the IP addresses are configured. We have IP address to connect for example, it's a public IP. Here's a local IP to the client, and there's no IPs here. So what I will try to do, I will try to make a Winbox connection to client, to make a connection to the RoMON agent. This will be my RoMON agent, and then I will be able to get inside this network. Even if there's a NAT here, I will be able to get through here. Okay. There it is. So I will be connecting to this client. I click connect RoMON. Then it's already refreshed me, and I can see like two routers, two RoMON IDs. Here it's identity CPA2. And since I have also enabled on ISP1, on ISP, I can also go back to this side as well. So, okay, let's connect to the CP2. I'm on inside. I can check that there's no IP address. So it only has Ethernet ports, so no tunnels. So I can, you can see that I'm connected to this ID, RoMON ID, via this agent. So it will be clear if you have a lot of a big network, and if you start using this feature, you will see via which agent you are connected. For example, if you have like similar RoMON IDs in your network. And for example, if it's like a RoMON remote device, for example, we have a support case of a like customer. He lost his router, he replaced his router, and he doesn't know how to configure it. He just knows how to connect and maybe do one simple thing. So he just needs to enable RoMON ID, like I did here. And then you can do all the configuration on this router. And there is no need to make some special exceptions in the client's firewall, adding any destination NATs. So we just need to have Winbox connection available to this router. And we can start configuring, just adding some DHCP client, for example, and we got like router back online. We could also connect back to our RoMON agent and try to use the console tools as well. So let's run discovery. So we got discovery, and we can try to connect to this ISP location. And we are inside the ISP. So what I did, I made a Winbox RoMON ID connection to Winbox RoMON agent connection to client, connected using Winbox to here using this tunnel, and then got back through this and this network. It looks complicated, but it's like hop-to-hop communication, so you can connect to anywhere, just make sure you do not get lost. Okay, so this is a first initial feature, so I will have some questions. Okay, Sergey will. Yes, it should be in the MAC address format.
What service packages does this feature depend on?
It's built in, but if you would like to use secrets, you should have like security package. You will not be able to use SSH to just maybe ping.
Okay.
How are you, Uldis? Just wondering about the protocol. What standard protocol is it using, and is there, in terms of like UDP, TCP, that type of stuff? I've about 3 questions. Can the secrets be hashed as a feature, like rather than just storing them in clear text? And the other question I have is, can it actually be blocked by the firewall to prevent unauthorized spread of, or to contain the RoMON area, so that it doesn't go further by accident?
It's a layer 2 communication protocol. It's like very low level. And about isolation, you cannot block it with firewall, so you need to isolate this network. So do not enter. Of course you can do it, but do not enable RoMON port that goes to the ISP. So or otherwise your ISP will be able to get to the last hop, even if you do not know that.
Okay.
It looked like you had multiple secret options.
Yes.
So can you have multiple secrets for one interface?
Yes, you can add multiple secrets to that interface.
So any of them will be accepted that are entered?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I've seen that the MAC path was exposed as the path to the furthest router down the chain.
Yes.
Would it be possible to add it so that we're seeing like identities in that path? Because as you can imagine, if you had, let's say, 10 hops deep, no one knows what the MAC addresses are. So it would be nice to have something clever, like where it showed the identity of each router along the way.
Yes. You mean system identity? Yes.
That's right.
We could think about it. Since it's an initial feature we just added, so we can welcome for suggestions. I think we can consider that to easy understand how it and through which path it goes. We can replace RoMON ID with system identity maybe.
It's feature request.
Hi, Uldis. If I'm looking at this at a layer 2 perspective, what addressing does it use for source and destination? Does it use the MAC address of the router you're connecting to, or is it just a broadcast MAC?
I don't have such exact details, but I can try to find it out after presentation.
Are there plans to? Sorry about that. Are there plans to enable it by default at one point, or are you guys probably always going to leave it off by default?
Currently, we have it disabled by default, and we currently have a port default all. So it means if you enable it, all the ports will have that. And if you put it in a public network that also has MikroTik router, everyone could hack into your network. So currently it's off till we think of a way how we could do that better maybe. But currently it's off at the moment.
It was hard to see when you did your demonstration, so just real quick, on this screen here, when you are connecting to the client that is now the 10.200.200.2, when you connect in Winbox and you connect with the to the RoMON, can you use the layer 3 IP address? Oh, there you go. You can.
Yes.
So you can click that, so you don't have to have the RoMON ID.
No, this is I'm connecting to the IP level.
Okay,
I can also try to connect using just regular neighbors, but I can only see this first one, since I'm this network. I can also use this as a RoMON as a first entry point, or I can use also the MAC address to connect to this ISP. and then do a refresh. I'm doing Mac layer here, and I see all the devices goes here through. Does that answer your question? Yes.
Uldis, just wondering, what's the encryption standard that's used to protect the data in transit?
I will answer that after. I need to check exactly. Okay, if there's no question, thank you for listening. And if you have a feature suggestion or request, just email to us support or also discuss on our MikroTik forum. Okay, enjoy your RoMON.